and welcome back to my channel, Daily Dreamer here. So I hope you enjoyed the last two videos that have gone live. So they were a little bit Christmassy, and I know they were quite way after Christmas, but I didn't get a chance to edit over the Christmas period because I was enjoying sort of like spending time with family, and I was sort of like working around the Christmas period as well, so didn't really get a lot of time off. I did mention in my haul video that I wanted to do a video on sort of my goals for 2020. So that's what this video is going to be about. I've been thinking sort of what I want to focus on throughout this year, because I feel like if I've got things to focus on, I've got things that can motivate me, I'll want to do better during this year, because the last couple of years have been a bit of a struggle, not just for me but for my family as well. So I just feel like this year I want it to be better. You know, it's a new decade, not a new start, new year sort of thing. I'm going to be the same old me that I am, but I want to do a lot more sort of throughout the year and focus on a lot of things, but that I'm going to talk to you about that today. So I've written down in a notebook of some of the goals that I'd like to talk to you about today. So the first one is more YouTube. So I've mentioned to you guys that sometimes I've taken a while to either upload a video, or sorry I haven't sort of uploaded in a while, or sorry I haven't got a video out, and I want to kind of stop that. I'm not saying I'm going to put more pressure on myself and do a schedule or anything like that. I still like the fact that I'm putting videos out whenever I can get them out. I know I started to do videos quite close together, sort of weekly, when it was the Disney vlogs, because they were sort of a chain of videos and they were like a playlist in themselves. But going forward, I'm not going to try and put too much pressure and too much stress on myself. Oh, I have to get this video out on this Monday because I've told them I've got a video. I'll just try and get videos out where I can. But I want to have more video ideas for you guys. I want to get more videos out. I want to be more included into YouTube, because it is something I'm really excited about. I like doing the editing side of things. I like making the videos. Sometimes it's hard to watch yourself back and listen to yourself. I'm not saying the right things, but in terms of the actual editing process, you know, putting music on, or you know, cutting the videos and putting edits on or anything like that, I quite like doing that sort of thing. It's another sort of like little hobby of mine. More YouTube is definitely on the cards. So the next thing I had on the list was sort of connecting with the sort of YouTube thing, is doing a walkthrough. So that is where you play a game and you film yourself playing that game. You might not like film yourself, but you'll film like the screen that you're playing on. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon recently, and I've been watching a lot of people's walkthroughs. More importantly, on the Pokemon Sword and Shield game that has just recently come out in November. It just looks like a lot of fun, and I just feel like it's videos that you can continue as well. It's not just like a one-time thing. Like, you have to sort of split the videos. There's so much content you could put into these games and into these videos that you do. And the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So I have Pokemon Sword and I have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I'd love to do a walkthrough on those, especially for Pokemon Sword, because they've just announced that there's going to be an extension, so a DLC expansion pack. So that means there's going to be more updates coming in. One's in June this year and one's in sort of like November, I think, or October. Sort of like towards the end of the year. So that means that I can continue the walkthrough. So that's a little idea. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do it yet, because there is a lot of things involved. Instead of like getting my phone and filming my Nintendo Switch, it's going to be very good quality, so you need to get a lot of equipment filming your sort of in-game. So I'm going to have a little think about that. Okay, so the next one on the list is probably one of the most obvious ones that a lot of people probably have when their new year starts, which is losing weight and sort of being more active as well. So I think I'm quite a good weight. I'm quite comfortable with how I'm looking now. Like, a while ago I did put on quite a bit of weight and I was distraught. I was really like unhappy with it, because it's not that I was fat. Like, fair enough, you may call yourself like, oh, I'm so fat and oh, I hate the way I look, but it's the fact that I wasn't the weight that I was sort of a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that even though back then you probably thought you were fat, looking through photos you think, I'd rather be what I look like then than I do now. But actually I'm starting to sort of appreciate how I look. I have lost a little bit of weight, probably more like inches around my sort of waist area. That makes me look like I've lost a bit of weight, and actually me and my mum have started to sort of like eat a lot healthier. We've been sort of like planning out dinners instead of like getting to dinner and being like, oh, what do we want to have? And it gets so late, oh, let's just get a takeaway, or let's just get this meal that's sort of like maybe a bit repetitive or not very good for us. So we have started to plan a lot more sort of like of our meals. Exercise is going to be one of the things that I need to get back into. So I did start going to the gym with my mum last year, and I did the gym sort of a couple of years ago as well, and the Wii Fit at home. That's another sort of exercise thing, because if I don't get time to go to the gym or get out and do exercising, I don't want to make an excuse and be like, oh, you know, couldn't go out to the gym so I can't exercise. I did a lot of Wii Fit sort of 3 years ago now. I started, you know, using that, and I got myself to a really nice weight with it. I lost about a stone. So that's something I want to get back into. So it's more of a toning, so it's not that I need to lose so much weight, but I just want to be healthier in myself. I want my choices to be healthier. I want my body to be healthy and a bit more active, where I'm not sort of, my body's feeling so tired after maybe doing like one run or something like that, and just be a little bit more motivated to lose the weight. Because I know you can sort of say it and be like, I'm gonna be healthy, that's it, I'm not gonna eat this, eat that. It's not gonna be a diet where I cut loads of things out or don't eat or anything like that. I want to be a bit more safe with it. I want to be sort of, you've got to be mindful of what you're eating. You have to have that proportion, you have to sort of have that split of sort of sugar and the savoury stuff, but I want to do it in the correct way. So hopefully me and my mum can work on things a little bit more together and get ourselves back on track to a weight that we want to be. So the next one on my list was learning to drive, passing test and the theory. So I've actually just come back from a driving lesson this morning, and it went really well, much better than my one last week. So since I started, last week has been one of my worst lessons. I just got in the car, he said we're going to do something new today. He said, but first let's just go for a drive like we normally do. We just go for like a normal drive, and then we continue on, like he might teach me something new that day. And everything was just going wrong. Like, I wasn't steering correctly, I wasn't changing gear properly, I was getting all confused with the pedals, I kept forgetting everything, sort of like when to stop. Just everything went wrong that could have gone wrong. Towards the end of the lesson, I was like, just get me home. Like, normally I'm like, oh, I want this lesson to continue, like an hour's not long enough or anything like that. But this time I was just like, just get me home. Like, I just needed to go home and then come back next week and do much better. And I did. So this week, it sort of all come flooding back. I was a lot more confident, I was a lot more calmer, slowing everything down, as my instructor says, like just slow everything down and it will sort of be much easier. And it was. Learning to drive is something that I'm really excited about at the moment. I just want to get on the road and have a lot more freedom, a lot more independence, being able to just go wherever I want, or if I want to go somewhere, not having to be like, oh, can mum and dad take me, or what time are the trains, what time are the buses and things like that. So I just want to be able to just get on the road and go. So I've done about 8 or 9 lessons so far, and it is going really well. I feel like I'm learning every week, and yeah, so hopefully next week will be even better. Then I need to worry about my theory. So I know a lot of people have probably done their theory before they even start driving, but I just didn't. I just wanted to get on the road and learn a little bit more sort of while I'm driving. I've never done any lessons before, so this is my first instructor, like first time driving. I wanted to sort of like drive myself, so when I'm looking at some of the questions on the theory, I'm not just going by like revising and that, I'm going by like actual experience of what I've been doing while I've been on the road and things like that. But my sister for Christmas, as you hopefully would have seen in my Christmas haul video, got me a theory DVD, so I'm going to watch that, speak to my driving instructor, and he'll obviously tell me things that I need to learn, that I need to know for my theory test, and then a lot of it is just common sense as well. So hopefully once I get that done, I can then pass, fingers crossed. You know, don't want it to take too long, but I know it might not always be the first time that you take it. And then obviously passing my driving test is then the next step after that. Not sure sort of when that will be. Whenever my driving instructor and myself feel that I'm ready, that I don't really need any more lessons, I'm ready to go, then obviously we'll get that booked in. The next step will be obviously, you know, paying for a car and car insurance, so all the sort of other things that come with it, all the bills and finances that come with actually, like, once you've passed it, you don't just magically get a car and insurance is paid for. So that'll be the next step that I'll be thinking about, which goes on to the next point. Which will be budgeting money and like saving up. So that is something I want to get really good at this year, is being more good with my money. I'm not saying that I'm bad. I do save a lot of money. Once I get paid, I put money into my savings, so I have got money set aside. The only thing that I'm really saving up for now is a place for me and my fiance. So we do want to move out eventually. As soon as we've got enough money, we want to try and sort of like get a deposit sort of saved and maybe a couple of months rent, that sort of thing, so when we do find a place, we're not struggling to pay the sort of like first sort of like 2 to 3 months of the rent, and we've got the deposit already sorted. We don't have to sort of like worry about it. But the other side of that, instead of just saving for a place for me and Terry, when I'm paying for clothes or for food or for anything for that matter, I just have a budget in mind, or I don't go over a price that I've set in my head. Oh, I can spend this much a week, or I can spend this much a month on that sort of thing. So I just want to be a little bit better, because normally I'm like, oh yeah, I'll budget, I'll be good with it, and then it sort of goes out the window, and I'm like, oh yeah, but I'll have plenty of money by the end of the month. And I get to sort of towards the end, I'm thinking, okay, well, I've had to pay for travel, because going back, I don't drive yet. Then obviously for lunches, for food, for dinner and things like that. Then it's obviously if I want something for myself, I need to sort of like be a bit more mindful of what I'm spending my money on. So that'll be something that I want to get down this year, and going towards any other year, hopefully I can sort of practice doing it this year, and then hopefully going forward it will just like come naturally, and I'll be like, right, as soon as I get money put in, what money needs to come out, what bills do I need to pay, and then what have I got left for me to spend, and then, you know, then I can split it out that way. So yeah, that'll be something I'll be working on this year. Next thing on the list is management training. So I work in retail. I'm full-time at the moment, so I do about 30 hours contracted, but I do a lot more sort of like overtime, especially over Christmas. I was doing a lot of overtimes, like up to sort of like between 39 to 40 hours. But I love it. I love doing retail. I know it's not for everybody. Some people say, oh, I couldn't do something like that, but I love it. I love the whole people interaction. I love the face-to-face interaction instead of sort of like being on a phone or behind a screen. And obviously I love the people that I work with, so that's a real big bonus. You know, really good managers, really good store manager, and people that I work with are all great as well, so we get along. So, and now because I am full-time, a lot of full-timers become key holders, and then they learn their supervisor training. Just depends on what level you're at, that the manager feels like, okay, we need to get you on your training now. We wanted to get Christmas out of the way before we did any sort of like training, so now that's over, it's a little bit more quieter in store. I'm learning sort of like how to open and close the store, having the use of the keys, the alarms, sort of what I need to focus on being a duty manager, sort of if I am the manager alone on the morning or on the late, what responsibilities have I got. Hopefully I can get that done throughout this year. So the final thing that I had on the list was any wedding plans. So hoping to get married with my fiance in 2022. So that's the sort of year that we've got. If we do need to go over that for whatever reason and have it a bit more later down the line, then that's absolutely fine. Like, there's no rush to get married. So he proposed to me on the 16th of May. But there is no rush. Like, I know I've got him for life. I want to be with him forever. I want to spend the rest of my life with him. So he's hopefully not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So there is no rush. Obviously, we don't want to leave it so long. Like, he proposed to me for a reason. He wants to get married. Let's do this. But obviously, money comes involved. We need to sort of plan everything, and we don't want to rush it. 2022 is the time frame. So within this year, I'm hoping to do a little bit more sort of like venue shopping. So there is quite a few venues that we've got in mind, and I want to speak to him about things like, where would you like the wedding to be? What kind of wedding venue did you have in mind? Sort of, is it going to fit the theming that we've got? Will it hold all the people that we want to come? Is it, you know, do we need it that big? Things like that. So we do need to have a little discussion, but I would love to do some venue shopping so we can sort of cancel out some venues, and then we could be like, oh, actually those are quite nice. I like those sort of ideas or that sort of theme. Let's have a look at any more on that side. I'll say what I like. I quite like the barn style theme. There is a couple of barns that are around sort of like the Hertfordshire area that I have looked into that I'd like to go visit, and then I want to speak to Terry and see what he wants as well, so we're both on the same page and it doesn't rush us. But obviously wedding dates can get booked up very quickly, so I want to make sure we can say to them, this is when we're planning to have the wedding. Have you got any sort of space or availability around that time? So that'll be something that we can do. The other thing that I want to do that's wedding related is do some wedding dress shopping. So I'd love to sort of just go have a look and see what styles that I like and what styles I can eliminate. So I'm not saying that I'm going to find the one. Obviously if I see a dress that I like, I'll keep it in mind, but throughout this year I don't think I'm going to be looking for the one. I just want to sort of go wedding dress shopping, get rid of some ideas that I don't think will suit me, try on a lot of styles such as like mermaid, A-line, sort of more of a fitted dress, ball gown, sort of what kind of straps do I want lace, so that sort of thing, like what kind of material, and just sort of like get rid of some ideas, eliminate some dresses that I don't think will suit me, and then I can continue sort of shopping with the styles that I feel like, oh yeah, that will look better on me, or that will suit my personality and my fit. But yeah, I do want to do a little bit of wedding dress shopping. It's not really a goal, but it's just something I want to focus on. If I don't get it done, that's fine, but hopefully maybe 1 or 2 trips can be popped in throughout this year. But yeah, that's the rest of the video. That's all the sort of like things I've had in mind for this year. I'm sure I could think of a couple of more things that I'd like to get done throughout this year, but one step at a time. Obviously I've got the list that I can work on throughout this year, just to keep myself motivated a little bit and not steer off track or be negative about anything. As my jumper said, it's all good. So that's what my jumper says there. So I wore that for my driving lesson to sort of keep me a little bit more positive, but hopefully throughout this whole year I can keep good vibes, positive mind, and everything can go smoothly. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!